Welcome to the G7 Gaming channel on YouTube, and today what we're going to talk about is a little bit different guide. I'm going to show you what my precise route is through the resort on the Shoreline Map in Escape from Tarkov, and I'll show you each individual room, as well as there will be a detailed key guide in the info section below the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Take a look at the guide and go get rich. Here we are on the Shoreline Map. And the most efficient way to make money and run through the resort is to run directly up into the west wing from here, which is, we're down here in Village now, so we're going to run right up to the west wing, and we're going to hop through the hole in the wall. So hang tight a minute, and we'll jump in there, and then I'll show you specifically what rooms that I like to loot, as well as specific callouts as you move through the map. Moving up to the resort quickly is extremely important, because what you want to go ahead and do is, as you have multiple spawn points around the west side of the map here, you want to make sure that you are fighting people on a downhill slope, right? So you don't want to end up out here in the open and then have someone up here at the campsite shooting you down here at the road. So you want to get up these rocks and into the building and shoot from the building down the rocks at any players coming in to try to contest you for that loot. As we jump into the building here, this is the first spot you're going to check for some high value loot, and it's generally high value industrial loot on this shelf here. Right now it looks like there's just a Zippo lighter, which is obviously not very good. However, I've seen anything from gunpowder to filters, propane tanks. They all spawn here on this middle shelf. So be very aware of that as you jump in. You're going to immediately go to the second floor, and you'll move down the hall to room 220, which is it is the only room on this portion of this side of the resort, of west side, that has high value loot. So bitcoins, gold chains, and they will spawn on this box here. There's also 2 weapon boxes in this room, as well as cash, and there's some hidden medical items as well, and this here ammo box here. You'll move from there into room 218. In 218, in this bathroom, there's an RSAS or VSS spawn on this box. There's cash on this table. There's also an ammo box here. 2 weapon lockers. And this is just 218. So this is actually 3 different rooms you get to loot with this 218 key. So then you'll move through the balcony. There's some more hidden medical items here that you'll want to make sure you check for. A large case. Sometimes that there's also optics that spawn right in this area here. There's cash. This here is an M4 spawn on this balcony, and you can move to the next room, and there's generally cash here, a medical box or medical bag, and a duffel bag. There's also a AKM spawn here on this bed. So this is very lucrative. These rooms here are extremely lucrative and definitely worth running for that 218 key. Now then, the last room in this section of the resort is 216. What's special about this room is there's high value tech loot on this box here. So right now it's a GM counter, but you can find anything from graphics cards to CPUs, obviously the PSUs here. So there is a lot of high value loot in this room as well. There's 2 grenade crates, a weapon case, and a small box. And this box can have anything from attachments to valves in it. So you never really know what you're going to get, but definitely worth running for this key. Those are the 3 rooms that I have keys for in this side of the resort, and those are the 3 most lucrative and the most efficient to loot. What you're going to do next is you're going to jump over the barbed wire here. The barricade is what we call that, and you're going to move through second floor elbow and up to 3rd floor, where we're going to make our way over to 306, or dead scav room. Now in this room there are 2 dead scavs, which you can loot them for their, there's possibility of Bitcoins in their pockets. There's also a M4 spawn here on this bed that's rare, but it does happen. Also, there's cash on the floor here, as well as a few other loose medical items generally on the floor. We move from 306 over to 301. This is one of my favorite rooms in the resort because there's 2 computers in here, and they obviously will hold their high value computer loot, as well as one of your few spawns that you can find on any other map except for interchange for toolkits. So these toolkits are extremely important for one of the mechanic tasks. So keep that in mind as you run for this key. And then what we want to do is we want to move through the balcony, and you'll see that there's some loose loot here on the tables. There's also cash generally, as well as 2 computers here, a large crate which can hold weapons, other attachments for guns, as well as optics, etc. There's an SV98 spawn here, and then this is generally loose medical equipment here on the bed. So we're going to go ahead and move on. That is all the rooms that I will loot on west side of resort. We want to make sure this is as efficient as possible. Next, we're going to go ahead and run over to the east side of the resort, where a majority of your high value loot is going to be found. Now, this run is really designed to take you about 15 minutes or less as you cruise through here. I mean, that's the idea. So the first room that you're going to loot is either 206 or 205. I happen to have the 206 key, so we'll show you what's in this room. There are 2 weapon cases, a small black box, as well as high value loot here on this counter. Chainlets, gold chains, bitcoins, those can all spawn there, as well as a 1 weapons case outside, and high value loot in this drawer on top of the bed. It's really important you check this. There's lots of people that leave bitcoins in here, as well as lions, statues, clocks. Lots of high value loot here. There's also a duffel bag and a small med case. So from 206, what you want to do, and this is referred to as glass hallway, just so we're clear on that. So you move through glass hallway to 206, and then you're going to go through the elbow here and then up to the 3rd floor. And what you want to do is you want to move back into the room 306 east. This is also known as computer room. So we unlock this. There's, I believe, 5 computers in here, as well as a DVL spawn directly here on this wall, and a small black box spawn. So here's the computers. You obviously want to check those for your high value loot, for your tech items, for all the mechanic quests. There's loose cash on the desk as well that you can see here. You can also move to the room adjacent to it by jumping over the generator. There's loose medical items, as well as a medical box, and then look at that, an AKMS spawn right there. So definitely worth having this 306 key, as well as the high value loot in this drawer here. So again, it's another great room to make sure you check out. So what we want to do is we want to move through elbow 3rd floor east now into room 310, which is your classic money room. Just about everybody runs for 310 once they get the key, because the possibility of high value loot spawning in here is extremely high. Right now it looks like there's just a figurine. There's a little bit of loose cash, but you can get multiple bitcoins out of here in one run. Lions, chains, clocks, everything you need as far as high value loot and cash goes. Outside of 310, we're going to cruise down the hallway toward the east side. I never check this box because I don't want it to take too much time. So the next room we actually go to is on the other side of the east wing barricade, and that's going to be room 314. Now 314 is an interesting room because there's weapon attachments here on this table. There's also a weapon case here that we can check. There's high value loot in this drawer here, as well as cash on top of the table. You can also find pliers and other tool items in this case, or on this shelf, before you go around the balcony into I believe this is going to be 312. with a large box here and your med case. So once you move through and loot everything at 314, you want to make sure you hit room 316. This is an excellent room for weapon attachments, optics, suppressors, etc. They spawn here on the top of this table here, and the top of this table here. You'll see there's a rotor 9x19 and a rotor 762x39. That's a very rare one there. So you want to make sure you pick that up every time. There's also two boxes in here. As we move down the hall, I don't check this bag generally because I don't want to be stuck in the hallway. So we just kind of cruise down the hall into the marked room, or the man bear pig room, as it can be affectionately known as. On the ground around this circle, the marked room, you can find bitcoins, gold chains, and figurines. Also, gold chains spawn in the ear of the pig. Make sure you check that. Lots of people miss those, so you'll come through as a scav, and you'll find a lot of high value loot in that room that people have just missed. You come out of the marked room, you keep cruising down toward the east side. The very last room is what I have is the storeroom key, or 328. And in here, on this table here, is a potential high value loot spawn. So gold chains, bitcoins, etc., cash. You go around the balcony. There's always cash here on this water tank. There are weapon attachments and suppressors, etc. You know, miscellaneous weapon attachments on this table. There's also a bag and a computer in here. And look, there's also high value tech loot here. So graphics card, it can spawn multiple graphics cards. So you always want to check this room. And we're almost done here. We have 2 more rooms to check before we make our getaway. And like I said, this is designed to be 15 minutes or less and then get out. So the last room you want to check, you want to head downstairs, and then you want to check room 226. So this is another double room. So 226 and 222 are connected. So we go into 226. On the bed here is a VSS or RSAS spawn. You want to close the door, and on this back shelf there's cash and hidden medical items. The ophthalmoscope is a extremely high value medical item. You want to always pick those up. And then there's one case in here. There's a weapon locker outside. And then what you want to do is you want to move into the closet area. In this box, there is always some amount of high value loot. I mean, it's a very, very high spawn for rollers, bitcoins, cat statues, etc. There's also high value technology loot here on this table and this table here. You see there's a CPU that spawned this time, but I found up to 4 graphics cards on these tables at one time. It's pretty incredible. There's cash that'll spawn in front of the grenade box here, as well as a grenade box. There's an MP5 spawn on top of this barrel here, and there's a box that another box in this room. So at that point, like this is the end of our actual running through rooms and looking for loot. At this point, this is how you get out of this situation: is you just jump off the balcony. Jump off the balcony, heal up, and then you run for freedom. And this is, like I said, this is designed to be a 15-minute or less move all the way through the resort. You try to move as quickly as you can, be as efficient as you can, and this is how I've made a majority of my money in Escape from Tarkov over the course of the last 7 months. Like I discovered this route about 3 months ago, and I've never gone to another map to make money because of it. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and just run out to the Road to Customs extract, which is on the far side of the map. There's usually 1 or 2 scavs there that you can kill, and that's it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoy the guide. There's also a detailed key guide for all of the keys to the resort, and that's going to be in the info section below. Have a great day, guys, and I appreciate you watching.